Hello, everyone. Good morning, Sarah. Nice to see you. You're muted.
There we go.
Okay, now it's better. Hello, Alexander. Nice to see you. I have to click a lot of times every time somebody gets into the waiting room. So sorry for the delay, but happy to have you here, guys.
I love talking about this topic, so super excited to be here.
Yeah, it's very, very important. It's one of the main topics and also one of the most controversial ones because everyone is taking supplements, but if we really want to measure something or make sure that it's actually useful, it's not easy to answer. So very, very interested to know what you have to tell us about it. Um, so we are still waiting for 1 or 2 minutes for more participants to join, and then we're going to do a short intro, explain what our community is about, and then let you, Sarah, introduce yourself and do the presentation. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Um, and introduce to you guys briefly Ikare Longevity and what the whole initiative is about. So, so here you go. Do you guys see my screen? Yeah? Okay. Okay, thanks. So, Ikare Longevity is so this is an Ikare Longevity workshop. And this is an initiative of Ikare Longevity, which is a community of people who want to live 100 years in good health and proactively manage to do it, not just uh, expecting to happen out of a miracle. So, um, a couple of years ago or decades ago, this was a pipe dream, but thanks to the recent breakthroughs in preventative medicine and personalized medicine, living in good health longer and healthier is no longer a pipe dream. It's an ambitious yet attainable goal. And basically, this is what we're doing here with iCare Longevity. So, what we try to do is bring as many free insights as possible and do it yourself tricks and tips to people. Sorry, still have to accept um, new participants. So what we're trying to do is bring as many insights as possible to our community of users and longevity enthusiasts. This is 100% practical and 100% free. What we ask from the keynote participants and keynote speakers is to bring practical insights. At the end of the day, when the conference is over, what can people do exactly and apply in our daily lives? That's our guideline here. And for the people who want to go further and really want to get serious about this and start investing in their proactively in their health, we have premium service, which is called iCare.health, where we pair each patient with a team of experts, one medical doctor with expertise in longevity, and a health coach to help patients implement the healthy habits in their daily lives and turn them into persistent routines. So eye care in this case is like going to the gym. We provide the tool and guidelines and the experts, but each patient has to provide the effort and self-discipline. So that being said, um, let's still accepting new participants. So happy there's a lot of interested people about the topic. So thank you everyone for joining. So yes, today we have Sara Banta with us, who is going to give us an exclusive talk about supplements and healthy aging. So this being said, hello, Sarah. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you can share your presentation, Sarah, if you want to. So there's 30 minutes of presentation and then 30 minutes of question and answers. Most of the time, there are many people asking many questions, and we try to keep the timing, but it's very fascinating. So let's go.
Sounds great. Well, thank you, Gabriel, for inviting me, and I'm super excited to be talking to all of you. This is a topic close to my heart. A little cliff note on who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. My health hit rock bottom. I had IBS, Crohn's disease, PCOS, hair falling out, heavy metal toxicity, and I was trying to be a mom of three as I was going on my health journey and learning through scalar frequency devices, through supplementation, through dietary changes, and how to fix myself. My 9-year-old son was diagnosed with leukemia. And when that happened, my world stopped, and I had to then address him. He is now a 22-year-old, super healthy, healthier probably than anyone else in the family because he takes his health into his own hands. And we never did anything traditional. We used our flagship product, the Accelerated Scalar Silver, and some, just cleaned up his diet a little bit, and he is thriving as a 22-year-old. So we all went through, I've got 3 children and a husband. We all went through the pandemic, tested positive at least once. Each of us, not one of us had a symptom. So my supplements are helping with detoxification and strengthening the immune system and helping with hormonal balance, brain fog, weight issues, liver health, all the things. But what does it come down to? It comes down to living a healthy, vibrant quality of life. We don't just want to live to 100. We want to live a great 100 years with lots of energy and lots of quality. I want to be holding my great grandchildren. I want to be playing games with them. But it comes down to your mitochondria. Your mitochondria in the cells are what drive you. They are what your energy is. Mitochondrial fails, you die, right? So we are only as healthy as our mitochondria. They are tiny, often overlooked structures inside the cells that are the engines of your life force. Every heartbeat, every breath, every moment, it's all powered by mitochondria. When I saw my son's cancer cells underneath the microscope, there was no mitochondria. These cancer cells are diseased, weak cells. Our immune system is supposed to overtake those weak cells. And when the immune system is compromised is when that cancer or disease takes over. So strengthen your mitochondria, you will live a long, healthy life. So mitochondria is the root cause of aging and nearly every chronic disease, whether it's fatigue, hormonal decline, poor immune function, brain fog, early signs of Alzheimer's, dementia. It all starts at the cellular level. These mitochondria are the power plants. Their main job is to take the food you eat, your fats, your proteins, your carbohydrates, turn those nutrients into ATP, and think of that ATP as your body's battery pack. Without enough of it, nothing runs smoothly. We all think that the food we take in automatically converts into energy. That's not the case. We have this chasm between the food coming in and actual energy. So this ATP is super important. It helps your brain think clearly, your muscles work, your liver to detoxify, your hormones staying balanced, your immune system staying strong. So every single cell in the body that requires energy depends on mitochondria. So what is causing that mitochondrial breakdown? Why in this modern world of 2025 are so many people sick? Alzheimer's is going through the roof. Fatty liver disease is going through the roof. Insulin resistance is going through the roof. Well, we've got nutritional deficiencies. Our soils are depleted. We are not getting what we used to get. And when the body is low in critical nutrients, especially magnesium, iodine, amino acids, B vitamins, and minerals like copper, mitochondria struggles to produce the energy. So we're eating this food and it's not giving us what our grandparents got from their food. Then on top of that, you've got this toxic overload, heavy metals, pesticides, microplastics, flame retardants. I live in Southern California. We just had the LA fires. That fire retardant that they put on the fires, full of bromide. Bromide causes cancer. It's one of the 12 deadliest toxins in the world. It's illegal in Europe, but they're putting it in our air. I have no control over the air I breathe. I can buy organic, I can exercise, I can sleep, but I can't control the water and the air I breathe, right? So we have to do things to combat that. These toxins damage the mitochondria, the DNA, and slow ATP production. The toxins also block enzymes that are needed to process the nutrients and turn them into usable energy. Then we've got chronic infections from viruses, parasites, mold, candida. So the pandemic and the virus and the spike protein has triggered a whole bunch of other viruses to come out and play. Epstein-Barr, varicella virus, shingles. The parasites are just running rampant. Candida, all of those things dampen down your immune system. Your ATP is focused on fighting all of these things over here, and it can't focus on longevity over here. Then you've got oxidative stress, free radicals that outpace your body's antioxidant defenses. This oxidative damage begins to erode the mitochondrial membranes, enzymes, and DNA. This accelerates the cellular aging and energy depletion. And you get tired. The causes of early death, oxidative stress, and inflammation. And then we have this systemic inflammation. This is driven by gut dysbiosis. We always talk about gut health. Gut health is super important. It's also very important for your brain, that gut-brain axis. Why are so many people suffering from anxiety and depression? Leaky gut. But then that leaky gut causes systemic inflammation. Poor diet, one meal of processed foods can cause leaky gut. One meal. So here you are, you're trying to eat really clean and do all the right things, and you go out to lunch with your friends and you have this meal that's full of seed oils and artificial ingredients, and now you have leaky gut. So then what happens is then when you go back to having that healthy dinner, your body's not absorbing all the nutrients it could from that dinner. Then hormonal imbalance. Most people are suffering from hypothyroid, and they're not getting the tests done that will actually give you the right numbers from the doctor. The doctor's not testing free T3 and reverse T3. So write that down. Next time you get a blood test, you want the free T3 and the reverse T3 tested. Most doctors are just testing TSH and T4. Those don't tell the big picture. Free T3 is your metabolism. Do you have unexplained weight gain? Do you have unexplained inflammation? You don't know what's going on. It could be your thyroid. Your thyroid is your master endocrine gland. Then there's a lot of estrogen dominance. We're taking in all of these xenoestrogens and toxins, and they're mimicking estrogen in our body, causing testosterone to decline in our men, and you're getting man boobs and you can't gain muscle, and women are getting the brain fog, worsened fertility, worsened menopausal symptoms, worsened PMS symptoms. Whatever stage you are as a female, your symptoms are worse. And then you've got cortisol, which is that stress hormone. Cortisol is great to get you out of bed in the morning, but all the time when you are stressed about finances, about the global political environment, the food system, stressors are also those viruses that your body's fighting off, or your liver that's backed up and it can't take on all of these toxins. That's a stressor. Well, that will cause cortisol to increase. What does cortisol do? It shuts down your metabolism. It says, hey, I don't know if we have a financial situation here, or if I'm going to be chased by a tiger, or if I'm going to face a famine for 6 months. I'm going to shut down my metabolism. I'm going to store body fat around my belly to protect my expensive organs. I don't care about hair. I'm going to let the hair fall out and I'm going to use all my resources for other things in my body. So cortisol and stress plays a vital role in mitochondrial regulation. And when all of these hormones fall out of sync, whether it's due to age, stress, or toxins, the ATP production decreases, mitochondria decreases. Insulin resistance. A lot of people think insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, it's all about the sugar. Yes, sugar has an impact on it, but there are a lot of people that are eating very clean, no sugar diets and their insulin resistance going up. Why? Well, insulin and blood glucose are managed in the liver. Your liver's backed up, you're going to have issues. If you are not loving on your liver, you are going to die early. Insulin resistance is affecting, I would say, 90% of the population. Most people have some level of insulin resistance or diabetes. And this is where the cells are resistant to insulin. They have trouble transporting glucose into that mitochondria for fuel. So here's the cell, and maybe the cell is full of toxins. Our fat cells are storage bins for toxins, not just sugar. So it's full of all the plastics and the radiation and the heavy metals that you're taking in that you don't know about that have 0 calories. And the insulin brings the glucose from your food, knocks on the door at the cell, and the cell says, nope, I'm full. I can't take in anymore. So then the cell becomes insulin resistant. And then the mitochondria start dying, right? So this metabolic traffic jam results in low energy, weight gain, accelerated aging, and the chronic stress. Like I mentioned, that emotional and physical stress burn out that ATP faster than anything else. Stress kills. Stress kills, period. If you're not sleeping and if you're stressed, you will die early. Those two things. That is free information. That's away from supplements, right? Okay, so the good news, mitochondria are resilient. They're adaptable, they're regenerative, like my son, full of cancer cells. Now he's a 22-year-old man in Utah who goes to school, works for me, and skis every day, and then will go to the gym. The kid has more energy than ever. He is resilient, right? He survived through COVID with no symptoms. His immune system is rock solid. This is a kid who at 9 years old had leukemia. His two sisters, very strong as well. So these mitochondria are resilient. The key is to identify what to take out of your environment and what to add in. Unfortunately, today, our diet and our soils are so depleted that supplements are mandatory. When I was growing up, maybe people took a fish oil or a multivitamin, maybe, but that's really all that was focused on. But nowadays, you have to target your supplements. And the reason I came out with my supplement line at Accelerated Health Products is 95% of the supplements out there are junk. They're full of fillers, they're full of mold and bacteria. You don't know where the brands are getting their sourcing from. And you could be taking a supplement that has too much mold or bacteria that is actually triggering a negative side effect, and here you are spending money on something that thinks it's good for you. So you really want to make sure you're getting quality supplements. I want to talk about 5 supplements that, if we have time, that are essential. And number 1 is iodine. And this is, if I was on a deserted island and I could only have water and nothing else in one supplement, this would be it. 96% of the United States and the world is deficient in iodine. It is no longer in our soils. And when most people get it from fish or kelp, that has been contaminated by Fukushima and from from all of the radiation that has been exposed to. Acceleradine provides 100% bioavailable iodine. So why is iodine so important? Number one, it's important for your thyroid. When we talk about thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, that is 3 and 4 molecules of iodine. How can you have a thyroid hormone without iodine? Your thyroid is your master endocrine gland. It controls everything. It controls your adrenals, it controls your sex hormones, it controls everything. Are you cold all the time? Is your hair falling out? Are your eyebrows thinning? Are you fatigued in the afternoon? Correct? So all of these are symptoms. Are you bloated and constipated? If your thyroid is sluggish, everything is sluggish. We're talking about ATP and mitochondria. Your ATP without iodine in the cell membrane, in the mitochondria, is 2 ATP per mitochondria. When you take iodine, it goes to the maximum 36. That is a huge difference. So that is fueling the cells and the energy throughout the whole body, not just the thyroid. The number one cause for mitochondrial failure, iodine deficiency. The number one cause for depression, iodine deficiency. How can you be happy when your brain's not getting any energy? Most people on antidepressants have hypothyroidism due to low iodine. Iodine, iodine, iodine. But not only does the acceleradine iodine help with your thyroid, it detoxifies the halogens, the toxins out of your body. Here we have all of these toxins in our body, and we're trying to lose weight. We can't lose weight. Well, your body is not going to lose weight when these cells are filled with toxins and it doesn't feel like it safely can let go of these toxins. So when you start detoxing with the acceleradine iodine, the body says, oh, well, now I can release these toxins. I feel safe. And the weight just melts away. We're not talking about calories. So it detoxes the halogens, the fluoride, bromide, chlorine that block mitochondrial enzymes. It helps increase that ATP inside the cells. It on the cell membrane is the brain of the cell, allows the toxins out and nutrients in. And that cell membrane has an iodolipid value, iodine and fat value. So you need iodine for that cell membrane. You need iodine to cleanse the blood so the liver can do its job. It also protects those mitochondrial membranes from oxidative stress. Iodine supports apoptosis, which are the damaged cells that we're getting out of the body. And it fuels, once again, the production of ATP at that deep cellular level. Acceleradine iodine is the only iodine that is monoatomic with close to 100% bioavailability. Most iodine supplements only have 10 to 20% absorption. They're usually attached to another molecule, so the body has to break it apart to use it. Okay, supplement number 2. We came out with this during the pandemic because the spike protein depletes copper out of the body and processed foods deplete copper out of the body. And copper is required it's a key enzyme in the mitochondrial electron transport chain. And most people think they're anemic or they're low in energy because of iron. We all have enough iron in our body. It's just in all the wrong places. You need copper to open the door in the cells to get the iron to where it needs to go. Without enough copper, your mitochondria cannot make energy. So it helps promote mitochondrial respiration, that ATP production. It reduces oxidative stress. It regulates the iron metabolism. It supports collagen and elastin. It also helps with your eye color and your hair color. It balances estrogen, supports liver detoxification pathways. It's also that key hidden hero behind fat loss. You can't lose fat without copper. So that I just wanted to go because I'm sensitive to time, wanted to go through that one really quick. So the accelerated copper has close to 99% absorption. All of the accelerated supplements are enhanced with scalar frequency. What does that mean? Means we put an extra layer of healing and power into our supplements. So copper is needed for that iron copper balance. It's needed for the integrity of our bones and our tissues. So we put frequencies in there to do that. Now we're going to get into accelerated aminos. So we need protein. We need muscle. Muscle is an organ for longevity. There is a strong correlation between the amount of muscle you have and how long you live. So you guys are doing all the right things, but you're not taking in enough protein or amino acids and you're not building your muscle, you're going to die early. You got to build that muscle. And for us women, it is so hard during menopause to keep muscle mass. We have to work even harder. I need more protein than my daughters who are working out 4 hours a day because they assimilate protein much easier than we do as we get older. So this is why I've come out with accelerated aminos. There are a lot of essential amino acid supplements out there. Most women are not eating enough protein. Most men aren't either. This supplement is amazing for my daughters at 18 and 20 years old that are working out 4 hours a day. It's amazing for the bodybuilder who's 26 years old. It's amazing for the man that's 71 years old at the gym. But I designed it for us women because we're the ones that are having such a hard time getting in the amino acids and the protein, and we're losing muscle more than anyone else. So it is great for every demographic. But what's different about accelerated aminos versus any other amino acid or protein supplement is we've added in ingredients that may give you energy, make you be able to perform more, lift heavier, do the thing that you're doing with better energy, and it maintains that muscle mass, prevents muscle breakdown. So we've put in their ingredients like HMB that prevents muscle wasting and supports recovery. Estrogen, an ingredient in the accelerated aminos no one has talked about, helps increase the nutrient absorption of the amino acids by 41%. So you're getting more bang for your buck, but you're also getting better nutrient absorption of all the nutrients that you're taking in. It's helping heal the gut. It helps with bloat. It helps with all the gut issues. We've put in Synactive. So there's an anti-aging longevity supplement out there that's very popular that touts that it helps with longevity, right? Well, their one main ingredient that they use was Synactive. And we've put that in the accelerated aminos. It helps rejuvenate the cells by clearing out the senescent damaged cells out of the body. It increases performance, VO2 max, energy, prevents that muscle breakdown. And we've also put in OKG and TMG that are helping methylation, liver health, muscle repair, detoxification, DNA support. So yes, it feeds the muscles and it's great for the bodybuilding, but it also is great for longevity. No one at the age of 90 on their deathbed says, God, I wish I didn't have as much muscle as I do. You want that muscle. That muscle also is that sponge for your glucose. It helps with insulin resistance and lets you eat the carbs that you want to eat. So it's a comprehensive formula that feeds your mitochondria directly. Okay, so we talked about liver and the spike protein COVID, it has really taxed our liver. 45% of adults have fatty liver disease, 25% of children have fatty liver disease. Most people are not able to have a high fat diet because the fat is just not being broken down by their livers. The liver, you gotta love your liver. It cleans the blood. It's the number one detox organ. Maybe not a big deal for our ancestors, but we are living in a toxic world and we have to detox on a daily basis. It helps with bile production. And that bile breaks down the fats so that they can be absorbed and nutrients can be absorbed. It metabolizes protein, fats, and carbs. So you might be taking in food, not overeating or anything, but your liver's backed up and you're gaining weight because your liver cannot break things down. Your liver is important for your immune system. It's where your hormones are balanced. It's where your blood sugar and insulin are regulated. It helps with your thyroid health. It's where your T4, your inactive thyroid hormone, converts to T3. So it's part of your metabolism. So important. Well, we came out with accelerated liver care, and thank goodness we did because my liver was under attack from the spike protein. My liver enzymes were through the roof. And within 2 weeks, this supplement brought my liver enzymes down. With this supplement, you'll get rid of toxins and things out of your body you've never seen before. But we have taken 13 rare herbs from around the globe and put them in a ratio where the synergy of the supplements and the ingredients have the biggest impact. We enhanced it with scalar frequencies to open up the meridians of your gallbladder and liver so the supplement knows where to go to do the job, right? Your liver's where you also have that anger and frustration and the emotions stored. So when you cleanse your liver, you're going to feel calmer, less anxious. But the supplement helps detoxify and purify the liver, breaks down and prevents stone formation, so those gallbladder stones, helps open the detox pathways, improve that blood sugar cholesterol. Cholesterol levels are attached to thyroid health and liver. So you gotta focus on that. It's not about eating the meat or not eating the meat. So it also is enhancing your immune system and helping with that emotional balance. Lastly, accelerated C60. So C60 has been in the news a lot. It's a powerful antioxidant. When they did the rat studies on C60, they had this group of rats that is notorious for dying with a lot of tumors on them, multiple tumors. When they put these rats on accelerated C60, not only did not one rat have one tumor, but they lived 90% longer. So when we talk about longevity, accelerated C60 is known to extend life by 90%. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants, 170 times 2 more powerful than vitamin C. It tastes like olive oil. You take a little sip any time of day with or without food. I even have people that put it on bread because it just tastes like olive oil. It protects mitochondrial membranes from the oxidative stress. It stabilizes mast cells, reducing histamine and inflammation, supports detox and the detox of the environmental toxins we've talked about, improves cellular signaling and communication. And like I said, it expands your lifespan. So to bring it all together, you want to protect your mitochondria. That's where you get your energy, the brain fog lifts, the hormonal balance, inflammation comes down, recovery accelerates. And it's not just about more energy, it's about restoring that vitality and resilience. And so what we have is accelerated iodine, because it's all about your thyroid. It's the master endocrine gland. You want to start with your thyroid health. And then you've got the accelerated copper, super important for your bones, your structure, your energy, immune system, hair, eyes, all of it. You've got the accelerated aminos, building the muscle, building the tissues, supporting even your liver, supporting that ATP, increasing your energy. More energy you have, the more active you'll be, the more active you are, the more muscle you have, all of it. Accelerated liver care, gotta love your liver. That's where everything happens. That's where the energy converts in, or the food converts into energy. Your body is doing over 600 jobs. Lastly, accelerated C60. So this is helping with the oxidative stress, inflammation, sleep, and boost the immune system as well. So hopefully I did that in 30 minutes, and I would love to answer all your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah, for the presentation. Very interesting, and also raises a lot of questions when it comes to um, how how would we go about measuring eventually um, the situation before and after taking these supplements, if we wanted to have a sort of more or less scientific protocol to make sure that we are fixing things into our body. I'm asking this question because I want to be the icebreaker. Usually, people are a little bit shy when the Q&A session starts. So that's the first question. And for the next ones, guys, please go ahead and ask your questions.
So blood tests are always a great place to start. Looking at your liver enzymes, looking at your iron and ferritin, because that is also part of that copper equation. Where are your thyroid numbers? Like I mentioned, it's not just TSH and T4. You want to measure your free T3 and your reverse T3. That is really important. You can measure copper on a blood test. But Gabriel, I also tell people, how do you feel? How's your energy? When you have energy, when things improve, you will know. Is your hair growing thicker? How are your muscles? With the accelerated aminos, it's been fun. There's a Hume body pod, and I've got a coupon code. I can send it to you later. I don't have it handy right now for you to weigh yourself, but know that what your water weight, your muscle weight, and your fat weight are. So it's not just about the scale, a bathroom scale. So you can measure if your muscle's going up and if your fat's coming down. That's another marker. So those tests are great. Also, strength tests. How are you doing in the gym? Are you able to do more squats than normal? Are you able to lift a little heavier? How's the tone of your skin? Is your hair growing in thicker? So blood tests are great, but at the same time, how do you feel?
Okay. When some of us have problems and we are looking uh, for treatment, then it would be easy to assess after a couple of weeks that we feel better. But for some other people who are in perfect health and want to stay that way as long as possible, they don't have that kind of feeling that they are not feeling great. And there are many things that are happening below the radar for many decades before we start having the first symptoms. And at that point, it's too late. So this is why I think it's important also to measure things, because if we are already in great shape and nothing hurts and we feel like we are on the top of our world, we still have things that are going on and we are not aware of. And insulin resistance, because you were mentioning it, is one of them, because it's completely asymptomatic for so many people until they get type 2 diabetes, and at that point it's too late.
Well, with insulin resistance, if you wake up and you need to eat right away, you've got insulin resistance. If you're not sleeping well, that's a sign that you have insulin resistance or a liver issue. If you have a meal and 2 hours later you're starving or your energy dips, that's a sign you have insulin resistance. But a blood test, yes, is going to tell you much quicker, because some people will just assume, oh, I'm just tired because I'm really stressed about the kids or what's going on in my day. So yes, blood tests, I recommend doing blood tests, routine blood tests.
Great. Thanks for answering. Marcus here has a question. Marcus, do you want to ask it yourself? I see you've put it in the chat window, but
So the
okay.
question, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if he's listening or has the ability to talk, but the question was, oh, he said, no, you can't ask. Okay, so I'll ask. So thanks for the presentation. He's going to look about at the supplements you have talked about. What do you think about supplements such as fisetin, NMN, and Q10 for protecting cells, improving mitochondria health, and creating more ATP?
So quercetin, I cannot comment, so I don't know enough about it as far as mitochondrial health. NMN is great. You know, I only had 30 minutes to talk about supplements, so there's a lot more that I could tell you about that. CoQ10, this is an interesting one because it's one that I've taken for a long time, but there's now mixed reviews on it. So I want to take the fifth on that one as well. So there's some backlash on CoQ10.
Okay. Next question from Carmen. Carmen, do you want to ask your question? Please be my guest.
Hi, thank you for today. Very interesting. And I've heard a lot of this before, and it's really good to have it sort of, shared again so that we're understanding exactly what we need to do to go forward in the future. I just would like to know, where are your product ingredients sourced from? And where are they formulated and packaged? And are you working with independent laboratories that are investigating and producing the new, more healthier line of supplements and so on, or ingredients to use in supplements? Yeah.
Yes, our ingredients are sourced from the United States, and all independent labs and GNP certified. So everything, in fact, we put our supplements and ingredients through more stringent testing than what the FDA allows. So the FDA allows a bacteria and mold count that is much higher than what we would ever allow. And we do not use any fillers or things that could cause an allergic reaction to certain people.
Okay, so that means they're not purely plant-based then, if they're going through FDA.
Plant-based, I'm trying to think, all of our supplements are vegan. Yes.
Then they wouldn't have to go through FDA. They'd be GRAS certified.
Well, they're GNP, FDA. No, they are FDA vegan certified, all of it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question coming from Umesh. Do you want to ask your question, Umesh? Okay, I'll ask your question. So I think it's related to how primary care, how much of an important role does primary care play in personal health?
Are you referring to just going to your regular general doctor?
Yeah, hi. Hi. Good evening and good morning. I'm from India, so it's night here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so my question is how the primary healthcare play an important role in the personal health of the poor people?
So at least in the United States, Western medicine, the doctors are given a very short amount of time and they're not schooled on the importance of diet and supplements. They just don't know. So do they play a part? Yes. They are able to order your labs if you want to do it through insurance. But honestly, it's really important to find a functional practitioner that dives deeper into supplements and diet and lifestyle that is going to improve your longevity. The way the system works and is set up is to keep you sick and alive, because that's how they make their money on the drugs. And when they give you medications, the medications cause side effects, and then those side effects need more medications, and there's no studies on these different medications working together. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much. And this primary healthcare, especially the young people, who are under their 30s, they try to avoid visiting a doctor because they feel they are young and they are healthy. And that is the reason, they got a lot of major health issues once they turn 35, 40.
Yeah. Thank you, Yumesh. So next question comes from Ken Kanihan. Do you want to jump in, Ken?
How you doing, Gabriel?
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So yeah, my questions are on a specific supplement, but I have an appointment in literally 1 hour with my functional medicine doctor. So I was taking notes, and I'm going to have a conversation about kind of your products and the different solutions here. So this has been very, very helpful. But specifically, I've been taking this Mido Pure from Timeline for about a year now. It's supposed to help with mitochondria health. I guess I'm just curious what your opinion is on that particular supplement.
I think it's a great supplement. Absolutely. There's a lot of avenues to mitochondrial health, and that would be one tool.
Okay. Thank you. Great
Mhm.
presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. So we have a question from Helena about maybe, yeah, I think it would be better to ask your question directly.
Sure. Thank you, Sarah. Having been in this business of natural health for a long time, I do get a little bit cynical about the latest miracle cures, as you can understand, and that's nothing personal to you at all. But, as people get older, we tend to have quite a toxic system. I'm totally new to your product, so I'll need to look it up, but they're called accelerated. So I presume absorption is one of the chief characteristics of them.
Mhm.
What would you advise for people in terms of maybe self-cleansing beforehand, saunas, cleansing, what kind of things?
Well, I'm going to go in my sauna right after this. So I'm a believer in sauna, and detoxification is one of my main pillars. The accelerated liver care is part of that detoxification. It's a one key supplement in my accelerated liver flush cleanse, which I recommend people do multiple times a year. I'm getting ready to do another one. We need to be cleansing. It's not just about what you're taking in, it's what you're not taking in and how you're getting the toxins out. I mentioned that my daughters need less protein than I do. And it's not because I'm using more protein, it's because my absorption is not as good as theirs when I'm older because of the system. So, it's hard to watch elderly people sit down with a little piece of protein and a couple bites of vegetables and thinking they're getting their nutrition. They need more protein than I do, and I need more protein than my daughters. So what you're saying is absolutely true. That's why I'm really very strongly believe in our supplements being able to be absorbed much better. The accelerated aminos absorbs within 15 minutes. There's nothing that can inhibit that. And
Just
it
tack on a
also,
quick question. Do you recommend, there's a big interest in parasite cleansing at the moment, especially in cancer. Do you talk about that, recommend it?
absolutely. I had my own bout of parasite issues, and this is I can't really talk about this publicly, but I had an infestation of parasites triggered by taking ivermectin preventatively. And
Oh,
what I come to find out, it's an anti-parasitic, but it only kills certain parasites and the other ones come out to play.
yeah, the
Viruses,
protozoan come out to play, don't they?
yes, and not only that, it then triggered shingles and fungus and candida. So
Wow.
all pathogens play nice in the sandbox down in your body until one gets triggered. And the spike protein is causing a lot more candida, a lot more parasites. And I do have a parasite cleanse, I have a candida cleanse, and I know God puts me through these issues for to be able to find solutions so that I can share with you. We have a parasite cleanse that is a general one, but there's a new supplement that we have called Candida Cleanser that actually breaks down the hard shell of Candida and parasites so that your immune system can get into what they're protecting, because the Candida and the parasites then protect viruses and other things going on, heavy metals, and there's no way for the immune system to break through that hard shell. That hard shell is like the lobster shell or the crab shell. So this Candida cleanser actually breaks that down so then your immune system can take over. I was literally having worms come out of my skin. I
Wow.
had a rash over my trunk and my back. I had a shingles breakout. It was horrific. It was probably one of the most trying times of my life, and I'm just coming out of it, so I can speak very honestly about it. And the Candida Cleanser is the one key supplement that took on this horrific experience. The parasite cleanse that is on the website is very good and gentle for people that are just wanting to cleanse out minor issues. So there, but the spike protein has definitely triggered a lot more parasite infestations and candida infestations and other viruses,
Yeah.
Epstein-Barr.
Indeed. Great. And I'm not being paid for triggering this question, eh?
I know.
No. Yeah. Okay. Antoine, who has left a couple of minutes ago, was asking if you'd have a summary of what we have discussed here. We have no presentation, but maybe you have a PowerPoint or a website or something like that.
My website at sarabantahealth.com has multiple articles about mitochondrial health, longevity, fat burning, detoxification. That is a place to go. I also have free group coaching on Telegram that's not censored. All of you are welcome to join. I post daily. You can ask your questions there. I mean, maybe tomorrow or the next day you go, oh, shoot, I wish I could have asked Sara this question. Pop the question in my Telegram group, and it's an amazing group. I'm on social media. You can follow me there. I do podcasts 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I post new podcasts daily or during the week. So places to find me, there's lots of places to reach me and connect with me. And I can send you, Gabriel, some articles that are pertinent to what we've put together today.
Okay, thank you. I'll share them with the rest of the group. Okay, any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I have another question. Actually, I have to hop on in another call. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Sara, thanks very much for the presentation. It's actually very good to hear about supplements and to have a focus on some supplements, because usually, I mean, there's a lot on the market, so you never know what to choose. I'm interested in I mean, I'm a longevity enthusiast. I've been for like a couple of months now, so I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to understand like the supplements that really have an impact and others that don't maybe don't have like a clear impact on the body. It's not proven yet. I do agree with Gabriel when he was saying like on the scale of all the supplements that we get, do you have a specific like protocol to assess the change, how it goes, like from being not very well to something better, and how the supplement helped in that way? Because that's what we lack with over-the-counter supplements in general. And you talked about specific supplements. Are these like is it the priority according to you?
These supplements are priority. Supplements are supplements, though. So as far as diet goes, I would say you want to focus on wild animal protein, bison, venison, elk, lamb, wild fish. Stay away from chicken and conventionally raised beef. They're full of amyloid proteins that can actually
I'm
trigger.
vegan, sorry.
What?
I'm vegan, so all of this you're
Okay.
talking
So
about
you're
is
not,
not
you don't,
something I
so
can,
you need the accelerated aminos more than anybody
yeah,
because it's really hard to get the proper ratio of amino acids from vegan proteins at the same time. So
definitely.
accelerated aminos is really important for you. And so is the acceleradine iodine because the iodine helps with the absorption and protein synthesis. And so my point in saying supplements are supplements because there's supplements to your diet. So your diet, it's really important, not just what you're taking in, but what you're not taking in. Staying away from the processed foods, staying away from anything that's not organic, especially in the United States. So water, exercise. I love that you're moving as we're talking right here. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And sleep as well. Those are the things. But these would be the top supplements for longevity. I have lots of other supplements on the website. When you go there, you'll see them all, but these would be the focused ones. And then if you're going along and you're taking all these supplements and you say, gosh, okay, I'm feeling really good. I feel them working, but 2 months later, you've got a little health issue or you just want to optimize a little more. Then you come to me and you say, Sara, what else can I add for this issue? I'm constipated. My hair's falling out still. I just want to bring up my energy a little more. Then I can give you a personalized protocol of what you can tweak, what you can add, maybe do a detox, maybe change something in your diet or your lifestyle as well. So I do provide all of that information. But as far as measuring, I go back to the blood tests and also body composition. Body composition scales, if you're retaining a ton of water, that's a sign your body got inflamed and it did not like what you did the day before. It's not necessarily fat weight when you stay. That's why I like the body composition scales versus just a regular scale, because you know if it's muscle, fat, or water.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, we have someone who just joined at the end of the conference. Welcome, Edson. Too bad for him, but the conference is recorded, so you all will have the replay. So yes, maybe one last question before we wrap up. Carmen, you have added something.
As you were talking about weight and measuring your body water and muscle and bone and so on, I recently purchased a Renfo scale from Amazon. Excellent. All the information is there. It's you can take it to your phone and look through all your information and compare it to months before. I was just thinking this was it's great. It's a great scale and they're inexpensive. So
I'm not familiar with that scale. The one that I have is by Hume, Hume, and it's around $200. It measures skeletal mass, muscle mass, lean body mass, intracellular water, so the water inside the cells versus extracellular water. Right leg fat mass, muscle mass, left leg fat mass, muscle mass, trunk muscle mass, fat. So it tells you where all your fat and your muscle is. So it really breaks things down too as well. I'll send the link, but that's also good to know that you like your scale, Rempo.
Yeah. Okay, but the link for yours as well would be great. because
Yeah.
I quite often have people asking about the scales, and that's
Wonderful. Yeah, I will send that to Gabriel if that's okay. I'll send all the links to Gabriel and put in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So time is running out. We have to wrap up. Thank you very much, Sarah, for this valuable workshop, those valuable insights. We had interesting questions. Yeah, all the participants are going to receive an email with a replay of the conference. Please feel free to share it and eventually reach out to Sarah directly on LinkedIn, I suppose, for additional questions or any interest in those
Yeah.
supplements.
Well, I really enjoyed being with you all. I'm happy to come back anytime, and I can talk on a lot of different topics. So thank you so much, Gabriel, for inviting
You're
me and
welcome.
for attending.
You're welcome. Bye bye, everyone. See you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.